Amazon.
I used to be a fan of Whole Foods. Then I realized they really do overcharge you for everything, except for the stuff they make in house.
Yeah, the in-house stuff's pretty good. There's a few other things here and there that they.
Their butcher department's pretty good too.
Yeah,
but like
Hire
a
a
lot of
hitman.
the dry packaged stuff is overpriced.
A lot of the brands, like the organic brands, healthy brands, they jack up the price because they know people like just want that brand. They want the convenience of not having to shop around for it. So,
well, like I eat these cherry tablets for my gout, and they want like $35 a pop.
Wait, are they tablets of cherry or are they cherry flavored tablets?
No, they're basically, I guess what they are dehydrated and powdered cherries that they compress into a little circular tablet.
But you can't just eat cherries?
You can, but the idea is because this is concentrated.
Yeah.
Because I would need to eat like 3 bags of cherries. Like
wow.
So
it's a little easier to swallow the pill then, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like a Flintstone tablet. You chew it. But they want like $39 in the store, and it's like 20 something on Amazon.
Well, this is like when I was buying the prescription medicine for Django, and it was $100 from the place in San Rafael, and then my vet found out that you could get it from Walmart for $9.
That's my wife had just found out, like there's a bunch of prescriptions she has filled out. It's like, wait a minute, I can get everything I used to get for like $50 a month instead of what she is paying, which is over 100.
What kind of dog food do you feed your dogs, Tom?
We feed them Signature brand.
Signature?
Blend. It was everything is Django related. It's the only food that Django could stomach at the end of her life.
Aww.
And so first I kept feeding it because we had it, and it's like, oh, okay, well, Sawyer can eat it. Sawyer can eat anything. And then when we got Ray, I was like, well, I should probably shift to something more, suited to a young shepherd. And I started looking around, and then I realized, wait, I'm 3 bags away from getting a free bag of Signature with the loyalty card. So I'm like, guess what, Ray? You're eating Signature for another 3 bags, lady.
So you ordered that through Whole Foods, had it delivered.
No, I get it at the dog bakery.
Dog bake? What, they bake dogs?
They bake dogs.
It's horrible. But I get a free bag. So what are you going to do?
Signature.
The dog food that we get was Taste of the Wild, which was like some kind of fancy stuff.
We used to use that, actually.
But that is the Kirkland brand of dog food is the same thing.
Just in a different bag.
Yeah, like they don't say.
That's one of those things we were talking about. A lot of house brands that you find at supermarkets and stuff were made by the same companies that make the branded stuff, but because of whatever deal, it's interesting because
Shane says Ray has no idea the complex politics that determined her meal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Every time I see dog food, I think of one of two things.
I'm hungry.
Road Warrior, because he eats a can of Alpo. Road Warrior, because he eats a can of Alpo. But also Cookie Crisp, because Cookie Crisp parent company was like Purina or Ralston Purina.
Oh, it was Ralston Purina? That's funny.
It's like, oh, wait, don't they make dog food? Like, yeah, it's not good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, shall we?
Do I have control?
You do have control.
Control. All right, gonna hide.
Here we go.
The Daily Tech News Show is brought to you by its global listener base, not outside organizations. To find out how you can contribute, go to dailytechnewsshow.com/support.
This is the Daily Tech News for Friday, June 16th, 2017. I'm Tom Merritt. Joining me today, Ms. Megan Maroney, host of Tech News Today and iOS Today, and producer at twit.tv. How's it going, Megan?
It is going well. I always love to join you on the Daily Tech News Show. It's nice to do this and then do it again.
I was going to say, I always feel
different.
bad having you on the show because then you have to go do it all over again later in the day.
Well, I get, this is just a trial run, but I'm going to do my best. I mean, I saw Sawyer, you posted a video of Sawyer, you were asking him some questions about Amazon, and he had, I like your dogs, but I got to say his answers were a little dull, so I'm going to step it up a little bit.
All right. If you can outdo my dog's vocalless answers, I think we'll all be doing Probably doing well.
I think so.
Yeah, we are going to talk about Amazon again. I apologize. We talked about Amazon possibly buying Slack yesterday, and then they went and bought Whole Foods. Well, they haven't bought it, but they're in the process of actually buying Whole Foods. Not a rumor. So, and I have shopped at the original Whole Foods in Austin back in the 90s. Megan, you worked at a Whole Foods. Was that your first job?
That was my first job in high school. I was a junior, I think, in high school. I worked at the meat department at Whole Foods. I'm now a pescatarian, mostly vegetarian. I wouldn't say the two are related, but they're totally related. Yeah, it was a good job also because it got me ready for work. It was just 3 guys and me. So it got me ready for my future jobs, which is usually 3 guys.
3 guys and you. Yeah.
Wherever I am working.
And we both have shopped on Amazon, so we're uniquely qualified to discuss this story today.
I think so.
Let's start off with a few tech things you should know about, though. Chinese scientists have successfully tested quantum entanglement with 2 photons 1,200 kilometers apart. It's a new record. They have a special satellite to do this so that they can use the vacuum of space for part of it and then split a beam and send it to 2 locations in Tibet. Findings were published Thursday in the journal Science. Now, I know this is the quick hits part of the show, Megan, but any questions you have on quantum science?
Quantum entanglement, is that kind of how like we worked together in 2000 and now we're still doing shows together? Is that the same sort of thing? Is that
Yes.
what quantum entanglement is? Okay.
Yes, you have mastered quantum mechanics. Someone send her an honorary physics degree.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure that's it. Microsoft General Manager for Surface, Ryan Gavin, told Business Insider that Apple is imitating Microsoft with the iPad. He said, when Surface initially launched, he didn't say it like that. He said, when Surface initially launched, everyone was skeptical, including them, and then they followed, and the iPad Pro is a clear example of that. Megan, is there any substance to this quote?
I don't think so. I have been using the Surface and the iPad Pro, and I gotta say, I've gotten a chance. I stole Leo's 10.5 iPad Pro that he ordered for himself, but he's on vacation, so I took it, and it's still a lot easier to use than the Surface Book is. But yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. Everybody copies everyone, right?
Yeah. And Samsung's Frame TV, meant to look like a 55 or 65-inch frame picture on your wall, goes on sale June 18th for $1,999 or $2,799 respectively.
I want it.
Put it on your wall. It's a lot of money for just looking like a frame.
Yeah.
You could take an LG and put it in a frame. It would still be more expensive than that. Actually, I guess that's not that bad. All right, before we get to the top stories, don't forget Len Peralta is here illustrating the episode for us. Welcome back, Len. How was your big trip in New York?
Oh, it was excellent. It was a lot of fun, and I want to go back. But I'm really glad to be here on Hat Friday, of course, which we should mention is probably going to be
audio listeners are missing out. We all have hats on.
Yeah, and my hat, we can't see it right now, but my hat is pretty dang cool.
Yeah, it's no, if you haven't seen it yet, it's worth going to the YouTube channel or getting the video podcast. Take a look. Between Megan and Len for best hat today. I'll be honest.
I think I'm going to give that to Megan.
You're very gracious.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm wearing the hat I'm wearing. I'm also wearing in my Twitter profile. So if you have to listen and you can't watch, you can just go to Twitter.
Just stare at your Twitter
at
profile.
Megan Maroney.
I'm wearing a Greenville Senators hat, which was a summer league baseball team for the high school level players in Greenville, Illinois, that I picked up in the mid 2000s. In fact, my friend Mark Jurgen even retweeted a picture of me from the official Comets account. So there. All right, here are some top stories. Apple has hired Sony TV joint presidents Jamie Ehrlicht and Zach Van Amberg. The 2 men have helped bring about a few shows in their time at Sony. Breaking Bad, The Shield, Justified, Shark Tank, The Mentalist, to name but a few. The Crown, which is, a Netflix show. So they'll report to Eddie Q and hopefully shepherd some more hits for Apple, I guess.
More hits? Does Apple have a hit with Planet of the Apps?
Yeah, the hits. To drop more out of that sentence. Yeah,
more hits. They have hits. They bring their hits to Apple.
Yeah, bring some hits. No, I mean, this is bringing in big guns, right? This is Apple saying we are not kidding around. Planet of the Apps is just an experiment. We intend to bring some high quality stuff, and of course, they've got the documentary coming from Dre, and they've been doing a lot of good music stuff lately. But this would imply they're going to get into scripted television. It seems.
It's exciting. I mean, there was news earlier this week that Netflix has more subscribers than cable, or without satellite cable.
Yeah, don't add satellite.
And obviously that's because of the originals, and the originals have been really successful. I really enjoy them, and it's just a whole new. It's really disrupting the way media works. Really being able to say, it doesn't matter how much you watch this show or that show. It's really just as long as you subscribe, then we get the money. So it gives creators more freedom. So I would hope that there would be more creative content out there.
In fact, I'm going to move what was actually going to be later down in the lineup up earlier. The lip syncing social video app Musical.ly, Musical.ly, released its first original content to run alongside user-created videos after signing deals with Viacom, NBC Universal, and Hearst. The content is designed to be interactive, encouraging viewers to send in their own responses. 2 to 4 minute episodes air weekly from MTV, E! and 17. They're free, without ads, not monetizing it in any way we can see, at least yet. Shows will be featured in Musical.ly's trending section for 24 hours. So I feel like this is beyond can online companies replace cable? This is video and original content have become an adjunct for your service, whether you're Facebook or Snapchat or Musical.ly.
Yeah, I mean, Musical.ly is this sort of secret thing that most adults don't really know about. My boys don't use it very much. My daughter does a lot of it's like the pre-Instagram and or pre-Snapchat as well. And that's what Snapchat does too. They have their own original content, and I think that's sort of what they're following. Musical.ly was one of the first apps that a lot of kids used that did live streaming automatically, and now of course Instagram has live streaming too. I'm sure they saw how popular Musical.ly was doing that, and it is a really weird way. I'm glad they're going into original content, because if you see kids growing up with this sort of one-sided communication, it's very weird, because you have the kids just constantly performing for each other. That's what Musical.ly is. It's not a conversation. It's like, hey, I'm going to lip sync this song, or hey, I'm just going to live stream myself talking, and you're going to watch. It's odd, because we know when back in our day, we had nothing like that. I mean, we could put on plays for each other occasionally, but it's not the same as live streaming yourself or showing off all your, musical talent in an app constantly to your friends.
And I think the idea that these user-made services like Snapchat and Musical.ly are also getting high-quality brands to put tailor-made content, 2 to 4 minutes in this case. They're not asking for 30-minute shows. Possibly points to a future where we are not going to see the model of networks provide us shows that we sit down on our couch and watch. That'll be one way you sometimes watch certain things. But I think the continuum is going to become a little messier, from movies to television shows to Snapchat to YouTube to Twitch. I mean, I don't think kids growing up now are going to think of television the way we do.
Mm-hmm. And that's what these places like Snapchat and Musical.ly really want. They want lean back content, right? Instead of lean in like that, because that means it's the moment you're leaning back, you're going to stick around, watch more ads, it's going to be sticky. So they really want that.
They want rocking content, because they want you to lean back and watch the NBC stuff, then lean in and send an interactive video in, and then share it with your friends and see their stuff. They just want to keep it going back and forth.
Right. They want to keep it rocking, is what you're saying.
Essentially. That is what I'm saying. That's a little too much for my old brain. So let's talk about keyboards. Microsoft unveiled the modern keyboard. That's what they call it, the modern keyboard, which integrates a fingerprint reader on the right-hand Windows key. Bluetooth 4.0 keyboard can operate wired or wireless, features a chiclet-style keys. I don't like the chiclet-style keys, but that's all the rage these days. It's compatible with macOS, iOS, Android, and of course Windows. And the nice thing is you plug it in when you first get it, and it automatically pairs, so it makes it really simple to pair up with your devices. Modern keyboard will be available this quarter for $130. There's also a Bluetooth 4.0 modern mouse that runs off 3 AAA batteries for $50. And I got to say, between Logitech and Microsoft, that has been my input device go-to. I have a Logitech K120 right here in front of me. I love Logitech mice for wireless, but this Microsoft mouse that I've got is perfect. It just does everything I need to do. So I'm curious about these.
For $130 like that seems like a lot for a keyboard.
It's a wireless keyboard, right? Mm-hmm. And it's got chiclets, which everybody loves. Yeah, it is a little bit on the pricey end. You're right.
Is a chiclet like the smart keyboard for the iPad? It's what
all the keyboards are now. Yeah, on the MacBook Pro now is a chiclet style. Surface has a chiclet style.
What's the non-chiclet style?
That's when you actually have the keys like next to. I can't lift this one up far enough. You have the keys next to each other rather than separated. That's non-chiclet.
That looks so old-fashioned.
It's great. I like it and my quill pen. My buggy whips.
I don't know. I guess I just gotten used to the chiclet style and not thought about it.
Yeah, but these are nice looking keyboard and mice though.
Mm-hmm. Have you tried the Surface laptop yet? Is that something that's passed?
Not the new one. I haven't tried the new one yet. I do have a Surface Book or a Surface Pro myself. But
yeah, thinking about keyboards, I did Windows Weekly this week with Mary Jo Foley, and she's tried out the Microsoft, the Surface laptop with the Alcantara, which that seems horrible. Like that.
Don't you have to get a little mini vacuum too, and always be cleaning that.
And you can't eat greasy stuff because you feel like. She said it felt like a pool table.
I mean, it sounds 1970s to me, right? Yeah. To put carpeting on everything.
Yeah. So this one doesn't have carpeting on it, thank goodness.
As far as I can tell, no. Canada's Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, the CRTC, has issued an order requiring all carriers in the country to unlock phones for free and sell new phones unlocked. Up until now, Canadians have been paying $50 or more to unlock their devices, generating a total of $37.7 million Canadian in 2017, and that's a rise of 75% since 2014, so the prices have been shooting up. Change came after a call for comment during updates to the Canadian Wireless Code of Conduct, a set of consumer transparency principles. So carriers are out some money, but you can get your phone unlocked without having to pay for it.
That's great. I think this is great. It makes me want to move to Canada.
Just being able to unlock your phone for free, because you can buy unlocked phones pretty regularly. You don't need to move to Canada just to buy unlocked phones.
I know that's not the only reason I want to move to Canada, but it's one of the many reasons.
They're so nice up there.
They are so nice,
and they have Tim Hortons, and I like hockey. And
yes, you can buy unlocked phones, but I just think it shows an attitude towards, like you said, transparency and openness and the consumer. It's a consumer attitude, and I feel like here we're not seeing that as much.
Yeah, well, and one of the problems with Canada is you have some near monopoly market conditions when it comes to carriers. There's not a ton of competition, especially regionally. Whereas in the U.S., we have 4 national carriers who are duking it out since T-Mobile was not allowed to be gobbled up. And I don't think this would happen if AT&T had been allowed to buy T-Mobile. And then you have these regional carriers like US Cellular, and you have all the MVNOs. So I think there's less pressure on us to go in and correct things because of that.
Yeah. I also think that in the US, there's the average people probably think that you can't buy unlocked phones or that you can't switch carriers so easily. I think that the carriers in the U.S. make it really, they never share that fact with you. Like, for example,
and the Library of Congress has put rules in place about unlocking to make it easy to get your phone unlocked too. So
right.
Exemptions to the DMCA and such.
Right. But I mean, you saw the headlines about Andy Rubin's Essential phone. It's going to only be carried by Sprint. That was the headline you saw. And a lot of people are like, well, I'm not going to get it because I'm not on Sprint. But you can get an unlocked version. But it's just like there's that weird kind of notion that, an exclusive like that would really matter.
The habit has been to buy it from the carrier. Mm-hmm. Because in the past, you couldn't get unlocked phones.
Right.
And that's changed.
Right. Well, when in January, Jason Howell and I did a switch. He took my iPhone 7 and I took his Pixel for a month. And I am on Sprint, I admit. Someone emailed me recently and said, you should stop saying that you're on Sprint because it makes you look like you're technically illiterate. But
that's harsh. Sprint is a perfectly legitimate carrier.
Right.
And in fact, you should be on Sprint so you can be one of the people giving the perspective of what it's like to actually be on Sprint instead of just shooting arrows at Sprint without actually understanding what their service is like.
Exactly. It's fine for me. It's just fine. And really, I'm just like, I don't have the time to sit down and switch the 5 people in my family over to a different carrier. But I guess my point was Sprint was it was super easy for Jason to just switch on T-Mobile into the iPhone, but it was not easy to
get
put,
over.
his Pixel on Sprint. But.
Well, Atari is still a company, and it has a CEO, and that CEO's name is Fred Cheney. Mr. Cheney, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I apologize, told GamesBeat, we're back in the hardware business, confirming that Atari is working on a new game console called the Atari Box. The console will be based on PC technology, but the design is still being worked on. Cheney bought Atari in 2013 after it filed for bankruptcy, and he's been busy turning it into a mobile gaming enterprise. And the Atari Box name may not be official, but that's what a leaked video referred to it as. And he has confirmed that, in fact, we're working on hardware. Atari game console coming to you.
That's exciting. I had the 2600. So is it going to be retro, or do we think it's going to...
No idea. The design isn't finalized yet. So the leaked video certainly looked retro with the wood paneling and all that, but that may not be what it ends up looking like.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to play a little Pitfall again.
Yeah, well, I wonder what it will be. Will it be a retro thing like through and through where you play Pitfall, like you say, or will it be retro looking but play Windows games? Because they say it's going to be based on PC technology.
So you're not going to be playing Monument Valley 2 on it or anything?
Maybe not.
That's really the only game I play, so I would just buy it.
I just finished that game, actually. Hey, folks, if you want to get all the tech headlines each day in about 5 minutes, you can subscribe to dailytechheadlines.com. It keeps you up to date, fast, and efficient. You can get it as a podcast, on the Amazon Echo as a flash briefing, or in the Anchor app at anchor.fm. Great place to find all kinds of cool content, and you can call into our station and do all kinds of fun things. If you haven't tried it out, Jeff Canada's on there, Scott Johnson's on there. Go try it out at anchor.fm. And that's a look at our top stories. All right, let's get back into this. Amazon planning to acquire Whole Foods. $13.7 billion is what they're reporting is going to be paid if this all comes to be. That would be Amazon's largest acquisition ever. They only paid $970 million, just under $1 billion for Twitch. So 13.7 times as much money being spent on Whole Foods. Whole Foods CEO John Mackey said he will continue to run the company. They'll continue to use the Whole Foods brand. They're not going to change the name of the stores. They will have a headquarters in Austin. Pretty much everything about Whole Foods will stay as it is. They have around 430 stores, and the deal is expected to close in the second half of 2017. Now, at the same time, people have surfaced a patent that was awarded to Amazon on May 30th called Physical Store Online Shopping Control, which, when someone is on the Wi-Fi at a store, I don't know, say a Whole Foods that has Wi-Fi, which they do, the store could sense the customer accessing competing sites to do comparison shopping and either block access to competing products, redirect to store's own site. So when you try to go to the pigglywiggly.com, you'd end up at wholefoods.com. They could notify a salesperson to approach the person or even just send them a message, maybe a coupon or something like that. Now, before we get into the Whole Foods acquisition entire, a lot of people are freaking out about this patent saying, oh yeah, they're going to buy Whole Foods and then stop you from comparison shopping. Well, first of all, don't use the Wi-Fi in the store and you can do whatever you want. Second of all, don't forget a lot of times Amazon will patent things to keep them out of the hands of others. And Amazon absolutely wants you to comparison shop when you're in stores with Amazon.com. So it would make sense for them to patent something like this to make sure that no other store actually does it to them.
Yeah, that patent story seems to not, I mean, I agree with you. I think the patent story is sort of a non-story in terms of what we need to be worried about when we think about Amazon buying Whole Foods. I feel like they're completely disrupting the grocery shopping industry, and I saw a story just about an hour ago about how they're not just buying the company, they're buying all these locations. And if you think about like the real estate, like Whole Foods is in upscale places where people are willing, to spend $7 for a dozen eggs. And, it's crazy to think that Amazon's now they're there, whether they're going to have physical grocery stores there or some other thing in there that they're going to sell. That to me is sort of scary, even though I'm a regular Amazon shopper.
Well, it's valuable real estate, right? It's a good investment perhaps just on that, although it's not a bargain at $13.7 billion. There's also warehouse space that is meant to deliver to local locations, which can definitely help Amazon out logistically. Amazon is always looking for a logistical edge. I don't think either of those are the reason they bought Whole Foods, but they are definitely good side benefits for buying Whole Foods. I don't think Amazon is going to change the name of Whole Foods. If you look at Goodreads, Comixology,
Audible.
Twitch, all of those, Audible, they leave them running. At worst, on Audible, you'll see a powered by Amazon logo, but otherwise Audible works like Audible, and it's been integrated into Amazon.com. So I would expect that to work that way. You will find natural integrations, like on Goodreads. If I'm reading on a Kindle and I finish the book, it'll ask me, hey, do you want to mark it complete on Goodreads? Like nice, easy integrations. What's the nice, easy integration for Amazon and Whole Foods? Grocery delivery. Mm-hmm. I would say this is the worst news for is Instacart, which is Whole Foods' current partner for delivery. Goodbye, Instacart. Hello, Amazon Fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with that. I mean, that was something that surfaced today too. Like, I don't think a lot of the average people know that, but Instacart had promised to compete with Amazon, and now they are owned by Amazon. It just feels like, I really feel like there will come a time where we'll just be buying every single thing from Amazon. There won't be any other stores.
You read the Washington Post, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, talking about all of the new Amazon services that are coming from Amazon in all the Amazon stores, in all the Amazon places. But the key is they won't be called Amazon because they're keeping all these brand names, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that is one of the things they're going to be able to do is Amazon Fresh has rolled out very slowly to just a few cities in the US and London. And now they can turn it on suddenly in 430 locations. And that gives Amazon Fresh a huge boost with a distribution network that's already in place. Now, granted, that has to be adapted, and that's not as easy as maybe it sounds. But this is going to make Amazon Fresh a much more pervasive product than it has been till now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you think about big companies, all the big companies like Google or Facebook, and how much data they have, and you think about it, it's sort of abstract. Okay, well, they have a lot of data about me, and they can serve me advertising. But when it comes to like the things you're buying every day, like milk and toilet paper and all the things that you buy from Amazon or perhaps Whole Foods, when you think about the fact that Amazon sees people as two kinds of people that are short on time and have a lot of money, and people who don't have a lot of money but have a lot of time. And they are using all of that data to really focus and sell things to both of those groups of people. So, for example, if I just don't have any time and I want to order toilet paper because I need it in a couple of days, I'm just going to ask my Amazon Echo to order toilet paper. And it doesn't let me compare the price of toilet paper. I have no idea how much I'm going to get, really. It'll tell me the price, but it won't say, you can buy it here. And it knows, because I'm the type of person, probably they know very well that I have no time, and it's worth it to me just to say that. But they're also working on the people that spend a lot of time comparison shopping, and they're trying to control them too. And I think, to me, that's a little, it might, while the way that Google or Facebook or Apple treats our privacy, our private information, might be a little scarier if you really dig into it. When you think about just how much money is coming out of our wallet every day, to have one company really be a monopoly, essentially, is a little bit scary.
Well, I mean, Amazon isn't a monopoly in the sense of there isn't anybody doing what they do. Somebody else is doing cloud services. Somebody else is doing ebooks. Somebody else is doing grocery stores. But they are pervasive, right? Mm-hmm. They are almost a monopoly in online shopping. Not really, but they certainly could abuse their market predominance. And I think that's what you're saying, right? That's a lot of predominance in a lot of different areas suddenly. And here's what I thought as you were saying that. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. They could drive prices down in the grocery market and run other grocery stores. You mean Whole Foods could become cheap to shop at?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I know it's anti-competitive, but that just kind of blew my mind when you were talking.
Right. I mean, it's that same sort of thing. Like a couple years ago, I just had this idea that I'm going to stop buying things from Amazon. I'm going to stop buying books from them. I'm going to stop buying groceries. I'm going to stop just because I feel like they are everywhere. I don't like the way that they're treating authors and, the publishing company. And, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. And then I got an Amazon Echo, which I love. I just love being able to listen to podcasts and order things. And it just they got me. It was like they knew, like someone, was saying, oh, in Seattle, we're losing one. Let's create the exact thing that this woman needs. And that's a device she can put in her kitchen and, order stuff and recipes and all that. And so they just keep drawing you back in, and all kinds of different people, because I know most people are not like me and don't order toilet paper from their kitchen.
I think you'd be surprised. I think a lot of people do. I don't. I use my Amazon Echo to create a shopping list. And that shopping list I then open when I go to Ralph's, because Ralph's is a whole lot cheaper than Whole Foods and it has mostly the same stuff, at least the one near me does. So I will tell the Echo to put toilet paper on the shopping list. But imagine if suddenly that's integrated with Whole Foods and it says, hey, would you like that toilet paper to be at your house in an hour? Just if you put it on your shopping list if you want, Tom. But so it'll be cheaper and it'll be there immediately. Mm-hmm. It's definitely something to consider. And, I go back and forth. Sometimes I don't like the predominance of Google either, for the exact same reasons. But if they're the best at what they're doing and they're protecting my privacy properly, then maybe that's okay. And Facebook the same way. I just don't use Facebook in the way that I'm worried about them having my data, but I won't stop using them. I just try to use them responsibly and only for something that they're superior at, which pretty much is seeing pictures of my dog at doggy daycare.
Mm-hmm. And that is really good.
It is important.
You should share those so I can see pictures of your dogs at doggy daycare.
I've shared a couple of them. I'll share a few more of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Amazon now, you can order a pizza. Someone else for now is delivering those pizzas. But my first job was, as I said earlier before the show, was Whole Foods. My second job was delivering pizzas. And my first job out of college was working at a Borders. And now Amazon has either bought all of those or made them obsolete. And I just keep thinking, what's going to be next?
They bought pizza delivery?
They didn't, but I'm sure that some
next.
Amazon robot.
So that's what you're saying is they drove Borders out of business. They bought Whole Foods. They're coming for you, Domino's.
They are. Yeah. Next will be, I'm just on this. I'm sorry I'm even on this show because probably Amazon is going to take over Daily Tech News Show somehow.
We have breaking news. Our new biggest patron is, hey, you know what, Jeff Bezos, if you want to give us a bunch of money on Patreon, we're not against it. I'm just saying.
He should.
Thanks to everybody who participates in our subreddit, actually. Bezos can participate in our subreddit if he wants as well. Submit stories and vote on them at dailytechnewsshow.reddit.com. Got a pick of the day from Nathaniel in Ohio. Wait, no, still raining Washington. It was an O, not an OH. Sorry. He's in still raining Washington. Says, hey, folks, I have a single pick that has diverse content for tinkerers and makers. Laser shows with 3D printed gears and cams. Microwave teardown and repair attempts. Vintage computer builds. Racing power wheel cars containing battery packs from Ford Fusion hybrids. Yeah, I thought that would get your attention. Hackaday.com is your spot. If you're an engineer or you like messing around with engineering, you got to check out hackaday.com, says Nathaniel. Thank you, Nathaniel.
I'm a fan of Hackaday. I often look at it, at the end of Tech News Today. We do like, you remember because you invented it, funny little story, a kicker. And the Hackaday is sometimes
back in my day, we called it the randomizer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh.
But that was the name of it then.
Huh. Well, we went back to your open. Maybe we'll go back to calling it the randomizer. I'll try that today.
Yeah, sure. Just see what happens. See if anybody notices.
Yeah, the Tom Merritt Memorial Randomizer story.
Send your picks to us, folks. Feedback at dailytechnewsshow.com. You can find more picks at dailytechnewsshow.com/picks. Just a second, we're going to break to Mr. Chris Christensen with the Tech and Travel Minute. he's got some hope if you're worried about carrying your laptop on planes.
This is Chris Christensen from Amateur Traveler with another Tech in Travel Minute. In the continuing saga of whether or not you're going to be allowed to have your laptop, SLR camera, and tablet with you when you travel internationally out of the United States this summer or in the future, good news has come from Washington from the Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly that has the hope for bringing an end to laptopocalypse, as I'm calling it, and that is that Homeland Security is planning on laying out a series of steps that airports can do to get themselves off the restriction list, including things like enhanced testing for their employees. This makes some sense because insiders are suspected as being behind the bombing of a Russian airliner flying out of Egypt within the last year. Let's hope for airport security that makes sense and that actually provides security. I'm Chris Christensen from Amateur Traveler.
Thank you, Chris. If you'd like more of what Chris has to say about travel, check out amateurtraveler.com. Message of the day comes from Andrew Vaughn, who wrote in asking if Google Drive files are encrypted. He was thinking about recommending Google's backup and sync for his mom, but only if the Drive files are encrypted by default. Now, I mentioned Boxcryptor, but he says even that's probably too much to expect his mom to want to mess with. And I could not find anything definitive stating Google Drive files are encrypted. I did find a lot about Google Cloud. My guess is that Google Drive files are encrypted, but I could not find anywhere on Google that said that exactly. So can any of you, if somebody can find a link that definitively shows, yeah, those Google Drive files are encrypted, Andrew would appreciate it. Send it to feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com. And then Alan Shar, like many of you, believe people who use spaces instead of tabs seem to make more money because large companies mandate spaces. He adds, different tools align tabs on a different number of spaces, usually 4 or 8. This seems to come from Unix, which historically aligned on 8, while Windows, DOS, and Mac historically aligned on 4. Since the latest Mac OS has much Unix influence, I thought I'd see how tabs align in the brave new world. Terminal, like the underlying Unix-based OS, aligns on 8 spaces, but Xcode aligns on 4. TextEdit aligns on 6. So go figure. This is all to say that many experienced programmers like myself prefer spaces because code always aligns correctly, regardless of operating system, editor, viewer, or IDE. Normally, I would make room for a response from the tab lovers, but we don't have time. Thank you for joining us today. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, we have to check in with Len Peralta and find out what he's been drawing. Len.
Hey, I am, in the pre-show, we talked a lot about shopping and what shopping on Amazon for food will be like. And so this is kind of my representation of what that's going to look like. This is the future of the Amazon shopper, or the subtitle of this, what your effed up shopping list will look like very soon. You really got to go to see the details on this because there's a lot here. There's a lot written here. I'll just give you a couple. Of course, you're going to be shopping at Whole Foods, and you'll have some great things like the family-sized Cheezos and the Mexo refillable burritos. But you're also going to get your VR wireless headset, which comes with a Guy Fieri online grocery buying game Championship Edition, or the Beat Ears noise-canceling wireless headphones for extra-large melon heads. That's just 2 things that you would probably get along with getting your shopping, and your shopping list is going to look really, really messed up. So
what is little fat-ass Brad men's cargo shorts?
Hey, man, that was bought with a daily deal. It's just one of those things that just, it's an impulse buy.
Oh, my gosh.
Portly Pal, Sports Nerd. I don't want to read them. You got to go check it out. Go over to my online store, lenperaltastore.com. It's right on the front page right now. And it's the future of the Amazon shopper. You can see exactly what your list is going to look like. And this probably is going to be me in about a year and a half. So
that is amazing, Len. Thank you so much. You have to go check this out at lenperaltastore.com. Buy it digitally or in physical form and put it up on your wall so you can chart the future as it comes to pass.
Just call me Nostradamus.
Yes, Lenstradamus. And thank you, Megan Maroney, for joining us. A pleasure as always.
As always, it is a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for giving me a chance. I love talking to you about technology.
Likewise. And if folks don't know, of course, twit.tv/TNT, twit.tv/iOS. Anything else to tell people about?
Well, I've been recording some triangulations as well when Leo's out of town. So, and
does he know or?
No, please don't tell him. So yeah, it's great to, how fun it is to spend an hour with someone who you really respect and talk to them about what they've been doing and where they come from. So I love doing that. And meganmaroney.com, trying to do a little more writing there when I have time.
Well, please go check it out, meganmaroney.com. Thanks to everybody who gives a little value back to this show for the value they get from it, including Ryan, John Saunders, Virgil Hawkins, and many more at patreon.com/DTNS. Our email address is feedback@dailytechnewsshow.com. We're live Monday through Friday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 20:30 UTC at alphageekradio.com and diamondclub.tv. We're at facebook.com/dailytechnewsshow, and our website is dailytechnewsshow.com. Back on Monday with Ms. Veronica Belmont. Talk to you then.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Get more at frogpants.com.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.
So good.
Hey.
Thank you.
Good stuff. Now, Megan, we hang around and chat while I publish, but if you need to go, that is cool. Totally understand.
I can hang around and chat. I have 16% left on my MacBook, so
all right, so you can hang around for 16%. All right, fine.
But Len, you had drawn that before. I thought you were actually drawing during the show.
Oh no, I was drawing. I did draw it. It was. To be honest with you,
pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
No. In order to do that, I have to work, and there's a little bit of magic that goes on before.
Okay.
But I do finish it during the show. So.
He couldn't finish a full picture in just the 35 minutes, so he gets a head start before the show.
A little bit of head start.
I really do like your art, and it's amazing whether you get a head start or not.
When you said you drew it before, I thought you meant he drew it on another show one time.
No,
that was really prescient.
Yeah, I saw that. Actually, in 2009.
There is probably someone that is documenting that, Show 2552, Len drew little fat ass again.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Roger.
Titles, 3 Guys and a Megan.
I like that one.
Amazon spent their whole paycheck. Ha!
I kind of love Amazon spent their whole paycheck.
That's actually pretty funny. I think that's the best
That's
so
good.
far. Burning a Whole Foods in Amazon's pocket.
That's pretty good.
There's a hit for that. Musically to my ears. Amazon starts a Whole Foods ball game.
Oh, like a whole new ball game. Okay, I get it.
Chiclet keys are the best. Tom disagrees. Chiclets are good for gun, not keyboards.
Atari gets a box.
Amazon goes to the grocery store, buys the store.
I have to say, I do like this trend that suddenly started with Tom has a thought, Patrick disagrees on Tuesday's show. When we can't come up with a clever headline, just having something that describes literally what happened in the show.
Amazon goes bougie. Amazon unlocks Whole Foods. Amazon buys a Whole Foods and Caboodle.
Oh, like Whole Kit and Caboodle.
AWS, Amazon Whole Salad. Honestly, I think Amazon spent their whole paycheck wins, but that's just me.
Yeah. You can mine through there and see if there's any gems, but I'm pretty sure.
I just did, and I think Amazon might as well just.
Number 3 was, of course, Hat Friday, which.
Oh, right.
I don't have enough hats for a Hat Friday.
Hey, thanks to all 3 of you for participating in Hat Friday. That was not mandatory, but I appreciate it.
No,
it was intensely suggested. But
it was not intensely.
Did you wear that? Wait, were
I
you
did. I
Oh.
wore it but then my head hurt.
Oh,
That's fine.
I keep a hat on hand just for such an emergency.
He lives in part of the country where there are unexpected showers.
I'll be honest.
Like that would help with showers, then.
It doesn't at all.
It actually helps with the hammock when you lie in it.
I really just looked in the mirror earlier and I was like, this hair, I can't do a thing with it.
Uh-huh.
And then I invented Hat Friday.
I thought maybe you got like a bad haircut or something.
No, it just looked bad and I didn't want to go to the effort that I usually do to try to straighten it out. And if you've seen the show before, you know I don't go to a whole lot of effort to begin.
Well, if you have a hair issue, you should just do what I do: go get a haircut and then get it short, so you don't have to deal with it.
That's usually what I do, and I need to get a haircut, but yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. You look like a crazy old man, Tom.
Well, hey.
Yeah.
Is my Whole Foods order here yet?
You just need to
I'm
have
a credible tech news host.
you just need a newspaper jacket and you're set.
They're gonna shut down all the Whole Foods. It's a whole different character. Instead of going the hat route, I could have just been an entirely different host.
That's DTNS in Bizarro World.
Yeah, you should do Crazy Hair Thursday.
Crazy Hair Thursday, Hat Friday.
No Pants Friday. Should have a No Pants Friday. Who could tell?
Who would even know?
Yeah.
ICU wishes he could clip that. I mean, you can. There's nothing gonna stop you.
Hey, Ace Detect. Oh wait, so Shane said in the chat room, "Hey, Ace Detect, Roger, Len. Most of the guys on YouTube have that hair." So I think
they spend big money and a lot of time to get their hair looking like that.
I know.
Yeah.
I would say you would just need to take a hairbrush and perhaps move your. I guess it's a bang, right? No, and move it over to your right.
Move it to the right.
Speaking of hair,
to your right. Yes. No, to your right. Wait,
on our flight back from New York City on Saturday, my son pointed out to me this guy who's like an internet star. He's the dentist with really bad hair. If you look him up, he's like a meme, and it's just look up dentist with bad hair. And this guy
wasn't he the guy prosecuted for shooting that lion?
No, that was a guy completely.
There was more than one dentist
with bad hair.
Oh,
yeah, dentist with bad haircut. Yeah, this guy was on our flight.
Did you feel like you brushed with?
Are you sure?
Did you get his autograph?
Yes.
Did you take a selfie with him?
No, I saw the guy get on the plane. I had no idea who he was. My son was like, "Hey, that's dentist with a bad haircut. He just got on the plane." I'm like, I have no idea who you're talking about, but I'm like, yeah, he has a pretty bad haircut.
I don't know what you mean, but you're right about the hair.
He's possibly a dentist.
Oh, Dad.
You see?
Don't you know he's totally
so
relevant.
Famous.
He's very relevant today.
I see him on Musical.ly all the time.
I feel like that could be anyone, though. I mean, like you could see a guy that looked like that, and
no, this guy. I noticed when he walked on the plane. I'm like, that guy's got bad hair.
Yeah, he had a swagger about his hair.
Okay,
he had swaggering hair.
Nobody got swagger like us.
Mm-hmm. What else do you guys talk about after the show?
Oh, it's mostly hair.
Yep. Hair. We talk
about
men. Food.
That's all we talk about.
Talk about our domestic lives.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen Captain Fantastic?
Captain Underpants?
Captain Fantastic.
Oh,
Captain
no.
Underpants.
Have you?
I have Captain Underpants in the movie draft. That's why it's on my brain. No, I have not seen Captain Fantastic.
You got to see it. It's free on Amazon Prime. So, unless you've decided to give up Amazon after
this is
today.
This is a documentary?
No, it's a movie written and directed by Matt Ross, who is in Silicon Valley and was in Big Love.
Okay.
And it stars Viggo Mortensen.
Oh, right. It was up for all the awards.
Yes.
And so I feel like I've seen it because I saw so many clips from it, but I haven't actually watched it.
It's really good.
Really?
I'm going to use this opportunity to recommend it to anyone.
Right, because they raise their kids away from society, and then they kind of get forced to have to integrate them into society, and hilarity ensues.
That's the plot, yes.
Okay. That's what the trailer promises.
Yes,
anyway.
but it's just a really well-written story and well-written script and good. Whether or not you have children, it's good.
I have to watch this.
Mm-hmm. Captain Fantastic. And, I mean, if you're a fan of Viggo Mortensen, you can just watch it for that.
And just say, Aragorn.
Yeah.
The last movie I watched with Viggo Mortensen was a real downer, was The Road.
Oh,
right.
I was like, why is this here? It's better as a book, because that way you don't have to visualize too too much into how depressing the world would be for a kid.
Although
for a kid, they wouldn't know any better.
Yeah, no, I agree. The book was easier to read than watching the movie.
Roger, maybe you are that kid.
That kid. Wait, are you
Maybe
saying
this
that
is the apocalypse?
could
and
be?
You don't know any better.
I think that applies to all of us right now. We don't know any better. We don't. I'm still waiting for the benign aliens to come down and to gift us with all sorts of amazing technology and wisdom. Although they're more likely just to put up like an expressway, like in the Hitchhiker's Guide, or perhaps the
benign aliens, not the metastic ones.
Yeah,
I like the arrival aliens. That's what I want for my aliens.
The ones that give
so
you
hard to converse with, though.
Well, but once you do, you can see through time, which is very disturbing.
And then it's really hard to talk to your daughter, though.
No, but you would have to, because you could see through time.
Yeah.
You know what, honey? Your life is going to be good.
Spoilers. I could see through time that I have 5% battery left on my MacBook, so I can't decide if I should keep talking or just be like wait till my MacBook dies.
Do you want to let technology control your life, or do you want to control your technology's life?
Do it.
Here's the thing. I just finished publishing the show, which is normally when we sign off.
Okay.
So now it's become an even bigger question of, do we just see how far we can push your laptop?
Yeah, this is like that episode of Seinfeld where there's like a
do
zero.
we let you actually do the responsible thing and go plug it in and recharge?
Yeah, I should probably do the responsible thing and also work on my other show, although this is fun.
Well, thank you. Yes, this was fun. And thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Bye, everybody.